Hey guys, this is MPig, and today I was thinking about the subject of honesty. People really say that the best kind of people are the ones who are always honest with everybody else. People who are open and free and liberated of all those stinky lies and stuff like that. And the saying obviously has good intentions behind it. And obviously I try and be an honest person as often as I can, when it benefits me and I know that some good will come out of it. But honestly, we've all had points in our lives when things could have worked out better if we had simply told a simple white lie. Okay, for example, let's say you're looking at your wife and she's got a weird dress on, and that one time you decided that you were going to comment on the fact that the dress didn't look so great on her. She has a hissy fit, runs out, and you're like, what, I was just telling you that, it doesn't look that great on her because she personally thinks it looks wonderful and you insulted her. Or noting that somebody's hair looks a little bit off and then having them kind of look at you as if you're in a bad mood that day and that you're a complete jerkwad. It happens to us all the time, where we end up throwing out some kind of white lie or we distort the truth just enough so we can kind of slip through the cracks. But that's sort of in the everyday sort of little tiny issues. But then you go into the more complicated stuff. Since one has 100% honesty always been a good thing, it's never always been a great thing. It's been known throughout history that, sometimes you have to lie to get what you want. Harsh fact, but it is true. You're not always going to, sometimes you have to negotiate with people, and I guess negotiations doesn't really go into honesty, but sometimes you have to skewer what you're saying, even if it is the truth, to flatter somebody or to make the impact less hurtful. And that, in a certain way, is considered deception, or could be considered, a lie, or a white lie, as some people like to call it. In a perfect world, no one would have to do this. But because in a perfect world, everyone is perfect. We don't live in a perfect world, and thus we are all imperfect. We are all perverts, and we have crazy thoughts, and we're weird, and everybody's just out for their own. And who is selfless among us? There are some people who get a kick out of helping other people out because they're genuinely good people, but no one is selfless. In the end, we do care about what happens to us as individuals, and if you learn how to care for other people, more power to you. And I care about other people, or I certainly would like to think that I care about other people, but sometimes people can't take the truth. And so, again, we skew it to our advantage. Especially, I would say, people that would consider themselves selfless probably say nice, flattering things to other people that they don't really mean more often than these supposedly selfish people do. More often than not, selfish people are more honest than nice people, as I've observed. And, selfish people are considered a bunch of assholes. I've known some people in the past who believe in the being 100% honest all the time without a doubt because it's so wonderful and it's liberating, and you just need to understand that if people were more honest to each other all the time, we'd all get in a big hippie hugging circle and we'd start smoking pot and we'll do a little funny dance, and I respect them for that. Okay, honestly, I do have friends who hold by a 100% honesty, strict moral code, and I respect it to a degree. I think that kind of philosophy really doesn't work once you enter the real world. I'm not saying that my friends who believe in that sort of thing don't live in the real world, because some of them do, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's more liberating than I'm tending to think here, but I doubt it. I'm honest to the people I love and the ones I know can take it. I'm honest when I know it will benefit me. Me. Because I am imperfect in this way. I am an imperfect being, and I know that if I say what I'm honestly thinking right now, or what I'm honestly feeling, I am either going to get my butt whooped, or I'm going to be getting a 2-minute lecture. And who wants that? I mean, come on. It isn't worth being honest to have to put up with that. This topic reminds me of it's actually this program that was showing on Showtime called This American Life. And it was a program that featured all these short subjects on people just with really weird, wonky kind of lives, like different outlooks on existence that are completely out there. Like, really strange. A really fascinating program. And I was sitting down, and there was this one about this guy who was running for this political office. And he swore to this oath of being 100% honest with the people. And what ended up happening is that they actually interviewed the guy and asked him a bunch of questions about, have you had affairs? And he would say, oh, yes, I've had affairs. And he even said all the women that he slept with, the fact that he had gonorrhea at one point. I mean, this guy was honestly, he did seem as if he was telling the truth all the time. And that's part of why he would appeal as a politician, because he was never going to lie to you about what he thought. He would give you the brutal, honest truth. But did he make it in the office? If I remember right from the program, and strike me down if I'm wrong about this, though I doubt many of my viewers watch This American Life, even though it's a wonderful, wonderful show, and I do recommend it. He didn't end up making it to the office. But maybe he's happier that way. Maybe he has liberated himself beyond the needs, my selfish needs of constantly having to cover my butt. And more power to him. The variety is the spice of life. I just don't think it's as healthy as people seem to make it out to be, or that really being this completely honest person really does all that much for you, or is even, again, healthy. We're all a bit two-faced. I think everyone can agree on that, and I think part of what brings us together is the recognition that everyone is two-faced. Rather than trying to be something else, why don't we just accept the fact that you never know what's going on in somebody's head? We do not live in a sanitized society, and we will never live in a completely sanitized society. Somebody will always have an ulterior motive, and the more that we learn to accept that, the more understanding you have about basic human nature, and I think really the more mature that you become. Not to say that if a lover of yours lies to you about having an affair, or that if they're constantly lying to you all the time, that's a good thing. You should tell the ones that you love, and the ones that are close to you, and the ones that you care about, the truth about certain subjects. There is morality to that. But, sometimes when her hair is looking off, white lies aren't that bad. This is MPig, and I am signing out. Running out of steam. Did you just see that right at the end? I was like going full at it, and then at the end it was like, yeah, what else could I say? So I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, toodles.